Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EU Quick Cup. Don't know what number this is, but I'm Kaiserson. I'm joined here today by Pencil. Welcome back, man.
Kai,
Welcome
thank you
back.
so much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be here, and we're gonna kick it off with Vanguard. I think that's the first time we kick it
Yeah,
off with Vanguard, at least since I'm here. Of course, this is literally the first time, and this is gonna be fun to watch. This is the only map where you see Russians on a competitive level. I mean, on a
yeah.
competitive map, which is wartime. This is the only map that has Russians. So,
It's not
привет.
the only map. It's the only competitive map, and that's what you need to
That's
focus on here. And Entropy did win the start on Axis, so there's still a talk within the community if Axis is actually better or not. I know a lot of people like the Russian weapons. I like the Russian weapons a lot, but defense is still pretty strong as we get things underway. As I don't even want to attempt that name, Kill Squatty. What is that name? SDSADSA.
SDS. Was just gonna go with SDS, but
I'm
it's
just
right
going
now it
sad.
seems to be quite a seems to be quite the fast round here, as SDS is gonna be the last player. Oh, excuse me, 2v2 now. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This map is a no go for me. I
You
can't
haven't
play
played it?
this map. Oh, I have. It's just you don't want to see the score after it ends. It's really tough for me. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Um,
but
this is actually one of my favorite maps. This is actually a really good map. I have played it a few times, not as much as I would like, since a lot of people don't like playing it since they're so hungry for Elo and Face It. But sad, he's making a really good one from this. He's won 1-3-1, and Kirsta actually gets that round after he gets 4 kills for himself. Just gonna carry the team on their Russian side. Still a bit annoying because at the top it says allies, which is gonna throw me off a little bit. But technically they are allies, I guess.
but
But
yeah,
yeah,
but I
this
mean.
is a very unique map in terms of the other maps. But really, where you're going to see the most engagements is going to be that mid house. A lot of teams
Oh,
like going mid house, and then from there they can go either to A or to B. So you're going to see a lot of shotgun plays from there, I believe.
absolutely. And going to A, it's somewhat dangerous. The majority of the time, you see fit to throw a smoke to try to get across. At least it happens to me most of the time. Every time I try to cross to A, I just instantly die.
Yeah, but
I'm
these
telling you,
players aren't you. Remember, they know the angles
it's
a lot
just
better. They know what
that's
smokes to throw. They know what nades to throw, and I
yeah,
would say
yeah,
A is actually the safest spot. The really most danger you're gonna have is
right,
that one player, since it's just
right.
all so close angles. They can have a shotgun and they can take you out pretty easily.
That's right, and I do feel a little bit attacked after what you just said, but the nevertheless, 50 seconds here
I'm
in
just reminding you
SDS.
your place.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. It's just all jokes, man. But Remy is going to be the last player here, and so far they do seem to have a strong start on the map, as Remy is the last player remaining with just a smoke there. And I mean, at this point, clearly it was going to go towards the Entropy's side here. Thank you very much. So I mean, again, I the majority of the time I do see more B than A's, even though what you said about being the
Yeah.
safest route, but just B, it's pretty much in front of you, in front of the front of you when you spawn. So either way, B probably, would you consider B being the safest route though? I mean, you're going straight to
No.
middle.
I wouldn't call it the safest because there's just so many angles which you have to close off. Whereas A, once you're on A, you got A side control.
You
The
can say
only
it's the
problem with
quickest though.
A, it's not the quickest, I would say. They're both quite equal to get to one another, and A, you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful with because you do have that one player on site, like Fire, and then you have backup like Quays and Connector who can get that crossfire with him. So A isn't exactly the fastest, and B isn't the fastest because you have to work on these angles because there's so many angles. Oh, Josh.
Talking about angles, take a look at where the bomb is. So,
Oh, it's right in Entropy's grasp.
mm-hmm. Caesar, they're taking down Phi though. Slow gameplay here, Kai. Don't you think? I mean, right now it's still 2v3, but still it's somewhat of a slow play here. QWERTY trying to watch the bomb between B and A, so he's kind of in the middle, uh, approximately there. So pretty much a good angle there with the car 98.
Really good players, Joshua, who is in heaven, and he's able to get that first headshot onto Wayful Sky. There's still one more player left, and that is Caesar, and he's got that scope at B doors. But Joshua again, this guy getting another headshot, and you have to look at Entropy's lineup, and you just look at it, and it's just stacked full of strong players. Every single player on this Entropy lineup's been to the major.
You actually mentioned that the first time we saw, at least for me, my experience, the first time that I saw him, you actually spoke about that. So definitely
But this
a
is
strong
the same
lineup.
Entropy lineup, which we saw last time.
But the majority of the play, I remember the majority of the players. I saw Five, saw Jay himself, and Kiastar.
Fire.
Yeah, I did see Five. Yes,
He
sir.
didn't play for Entropy. No. Fire did not play for Entropy. He played for Moose at Blitz. Today he's stepping in for Entropy, and he is a majestic player. He's the player when he used to play for a team called CRG. He was the one racking up all the numbers, and you can see there 3 kills in this round alone up in the balcony area. Let's see how much damage they can do here. Entropy just got full control of this map. As you can see, they're just closing in on the remaining players.
There's nothing else. I mean, at this point, so far, it's been 5 rounds approximately, and no signs of life from the Allies team. And
Outlaws, I believe they're called. What, Outcast?
Outcast. It's Outcast. Yeah. I mean, still, definitely acting like Outcasts at this point. There's really nothing to show for it, as they're having a tough time trying to even get around going. And Entropy just seems like they know what they're doing. Oh, definitely a very good grenade there. As you can see, they had to retreat for quite a bit before he gets a shot. Jay himself as well. So they're just going down like flies. I mean, Jesus Christ. Oh, dear Lord, what am I watching here?
Oh,
that was just in a matter of what, 15 seconds, 20 seconds approximately? That was just brutal to watch at this point.
If this game continues like it is at the moment, it's going to be very quick. And you can kind of see that Outcast doesn't really play this map often. They're a relatively new team. They are a Polish lineup. So it's kind of expected, whereas Entropy, they just got such stacked players. I know some of these players play this map quite a bit as well. So they're definitely more prepared here.
But I mean, at times, you clearly, whenever I'm watching the, I'm to be honest with you, I'm paying more attention to Outcasts than Entropy at the moment, and they do seem a little bit lost the majority of the time. Not sure about their communication, but I mean, at this point, it's 0-5. You know, you're trying to do the best you can. Having the bomb in the middle there, kind of questionable play there. Not enough backup in the back or on the side, so it seemed. And again, SDS will be the last player remaining here with the PPSH, I believe it is.
Yeah, and, PPSH.
Thank you. Yeah, because I sometimes, I think, I can't remember what gun I butchered the name last time, and somebody was trying to correct me. So, but nevertheless, you know, trying to do the best he can here.
He's definitely the only hope for this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, trying to create an opening there. 1v3, not 1v2, so somewhat of a small chance. Meanwhile, Pi has his Phi has his number with sorry. Phi has his number with the Car 98 scope, but gets him to 1 HP and gets the best of Mastermind. So now you got yourself a game. This could be the round that they need here potentially, Kai.
Definitely, and Sad's actually going to get that bomb down before Phi can even get a chance, but he has got a good angle. Phi, he hasn't taken the shot just yet. That smoke's going to delay even longer, but Sad. Incredible. Ace clutch. 1 versus 4. And I'm saying this is the only hope for this Outcast lineup, and he's actually done it. He done it by himself on this map.
That was kind of tough to watch. I mean, Sad being the lone wolf here for OUTCAST, trying to be the hero, and very well he did. I mean, take a look at the scoreboard for
some 9 kills.
Wonder Child has a little bit of trouble.
Well, you're cutting out a little bit. Maybe you're not pressing your
Oh,
mic
do
button too
apologize.
much.
I'm having my mouse is just, but going back to Child has a little bit of a trouble here. Still haven't been able to get a frag going at the moment. So I mean, you have to take that to your advantage. I mean, when you got a guy like Sad, you know, making those openings, and Jesus Christ, what a nice
I have
shot.
to take that away from you. That Keystar's reactions there with the flick, that was absolutely beautiful. I don't know if Bear got that or not. Damn, that was nasty. Oh, carry on. Your thoughts. Sorry. Just
Oh, no.
Key is actually this
I
game.
did see the, I did see the shot, but nevertheless, right now, I mean, what do you need to do here, Kai? I mean, obviously you've been in these situations before. I mean, there's nothing, you know, when you see a game like Battalion, you see
Yeah.
how very how very some of the maps are very defense sided. I mean, the score really at this point, you know, doesn't really mean anything. You can obviously make a comeback from this. It's early, not even halfway through, but I mean, at this point, if you're Outcast, what do you need to do? I mean, again, I see them a little bit lost. I see them, you know, not covering certain angles. At this point, what do you need to do?
Well, you need to start paying attention a little bit more, seeing what angles your opponents are going to, and predicting it that way. Then, as a team, get smoked. Smoke out areas of the map. So, for example, if you want to push onto the B, you can smoke out the connector. You can smoke up top B on rafters, and then you can smoke off towards B long and push through those double doors. And then focus on the two areas that you know your opponent is going to be at, which is either going to be on B short or at mini. Which is that little
Clearly,
heart inside
I
B's
mean,
side.
it almost feels like the way you're expressing yourself. It almost feels like, you know, utilities on a map like Vanguard, utilities, excuse me, utilities. My God, my English is broken today. But utilities is something so important on a map like this. There's so many openings. It's big. There's so many openings here that, I mean, like you said, if you don't pay attention, that's exactly what's going to happen. And Entropy is taking full advantage of this situation. Clearly, not watching your back, not watching the angles that you need to watch, and he just walked in like nobody's business and managed to pull a double kill there. So again, I do have to agree with you. You know, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Not sure what is going on with the communication, but clearly you can clearly see after that backstab double kill, communication is not on point. I do have to say, I don't feel like communication is on point.
Yeah, you can definitely see that they're definitely a new team since they're not playing as a team. You see players going off on their own. They're not covering each other's backs. That some of the players are watching the same angles. If you're both watching the entrance to middle house and not paying attention, the fact that they can push down mid or push down statue, you're gonna start losing players, and then you're gonna start losing a lot of rounds like they are currently.
But I mean, again, when you talk about a moment like Sad, which pretty much clutched it a 1v4, I mean, you have to get some momentum going here. Entropy is just taking full advantage of each mistake that Outcast is doing. I mean, they do seem confident. I mean, pushing in like nobody's business. You can clearly see, you know, looking at the scoreboard. So hopefully for the defense side, although not looking pretty for Outcast, but hopefully they can get a few rounds here and there on the defensive side.
Yeah, and looking at Josh's position, back front, he's got a pretty good angle watching that mid roof, but he's also watching top roof, and that's important. Like, he knows these angles and knows where he can get pushed on, and that's something that you need to be aware as a player. But Waffle Sky, that's what the play in tower, unable to hit that shot, so he's gonna push back towards mid house / mid. It does seem like they want to head towards A, which there is one player on site, and that's going to be Mastermind. Mastermind's having a tough time as it is. Now it's time for him to be tested.
I like that. I like what they just did, trying to go for that metal and thought it was gonna work, but clearly the stop was there, and it gets a nice double kill there. Man, this is, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's somewhat tough to watch here. It kind of feels like you're playing a pub match here at the. Oh, Jesus Christ. You hate
You
to
have
see
to feel
it.
unlucky. You have to feel unlucky.
Oh,
you,
God.
you miss the knife, and then Mastermind just can easily get the knife. Oh, my phone's buzzing. Put that on mute. There we go. But yeah, you just hate to see it, and we're always gonna know Entropy was gonna win by an outstanding lead. But you always want to hope that Outcast was gonna have some fight in them. Too bad they do not have the fight in them on this map, though. Is a tough map to play as if you're a new team.
Please do not remind me ever again that this map is tough to play. Like every time I go to faces, I don't even ban Savoya first. Vanguard is the first one to go. I'm telling you that right now. Vanguard, oh yeah. Vanguard. I mean, I'm not a fan of Vanguard or Savoya, but just to be safe, I usually ban Vanguard first. But that's another topic here. It's a tough call, but right now again, you can see how these multi-frags happen continuously for Entropy, and just Outcast is just there giving them the kills at this point. Unless just Christmas came early for Entropy.
Is that they are getting the refrags. You saw there, Sad did take down one of the players, but you saw Joshua immediately taking him out and just leaving Caesar alone with the scope as well as the bomb. At this point, if you're Caesar, you're gonna struggle with what you want to do, and maybe just try and save the scope going into the next round.
I think honestly, you should do anything in your power to save whatever you have at this point. I mean, you need every resource possible to even try to get around from Entropy at this. It's not that I'm not trying to bash Outcast, but if you put them and Entropy, Entropy just seems to know what they're doing every time, and at this point, I do not agree with that play. I mean, if you're the last player remaining, you need all the resources available to you, and just you try to make a play, but obviously, what is happening on Outcast?
Well, first of all, we need to look at the map, and I think it just hands down to the map, the experience of Outcast. The new team, they probably didn't think they'll play this map, but in this tournament, first round is going to be Vanguard. Second round is going to be Liberation. Third round is going to be Derailed, and fourth, Manor House. There's set maps for this tournament, and they didn't expect to it, and now they're just running into a wall immediately. And Mastermind, using that smoke to perfection, almost gets the last player, but fire with the nade. I don't even know where that nade was. That's where Waffle Sky was, but that's going to be the 10th round for Entropy as we're getting into the end of this half. 10-1. Of course, the only round that Outcast got was that 1-4 with an ace. And that, I think that says it for itself.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, at this point, it does. My goodness. You can. I'm sure they will be able to get a few rounds here and there on the defensive side, because Jesus, if you can't get a round on the defensive side, at least a few rounds from Entropy, you definitely need to go back to the drawing board, because this is just painful to watch at this. It's a little bit tough for them. They haven't even been able to. I think Sad was the only one who even attempted to plant the bomb. They don't even get close to the bomb.
No, and it just shows the inexperience of Outcast as well as the experience on Entropy. But now we're actually seeing a good round for them going into the last round of the half. They finally got B-site control. The bomb is there, and Sad with the knife just runs out to kill fire. Now it's Joshua. He needs to try and get some, but Sad again. This guy is the only help for Outcast, but now it's a 1-2 for Quay. He has to play this so smart. It seems like he wants to go up on the rough. No, he wants to go through double doors. The thing is, Outcasts are playing this separately. This is allowing Quay to have 1-1 duels, but the question is, will he get it? Yes, he will. Wonder Child falls, just leaving it all up to Sad, and we have seen Sad clutch things before. But can he do it this time?
The clock is ticking down right now, and you can clearly see he has a lot to work with, though. He has this, I believe that's a rifle and the SMG, and mostly. Oh my God, he saw the corner. He saw a little bit of. Can he go ahead and do
Sad's won it. No
they're
time left.
They're just dancing around. Oh, but Sad again. Sad is pretty much the MVP for Outcast at this point.
Yeah.
That's keep this in mind. They only have 2 rounds, and those 2 rounds came from Sad, pretty much. So that says a lot from this guy. I mean, only 2 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the scoreboard, and Sad made it happen. A 1v4, and that was at what, like it was a 1v2, 1v1 at this
1v2.
point.
It was a
This
1v2
man,
full play. Now is Entropy's time to start on the Allied side. And it does seem like they're leaving Bomb behind, trying to get some map control. Quite does get the first frag onto Wonderchild, but Sad, he's got that shotgun in mid-house, and there's people in front of him. Too bad he can't see through the smoke.
But if you take a look at Sad, Sad knows what he's doing. Great positioning, I might add. You get a trench gun on A. You know, it's somewhat of a close quarter trying to enter. So Sad is playing this really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do feel like he's, you know, has a great position. Needs to be careful trying to peek, but you can see how he's moving around these close quarter angles. So it's very, very smart. You know, unfortunately, he won't be able to help his teammate. And again, Sad is the only player remaining here. So he's just dancing around both entrances, but unfortunately was taken down. But you got to give credit to Sad. Pretty much played that perfectly. It's just that obviously his teammates were nowhere to be found. But
it's not that his team was nowhere to be found. Entropy played that so well. They locked Sad into the A site. Then they picked off his teammates one by one. And you have to give credit to Entropy. Entropy played that so well. They didn't fight Sad, and that was the key thing, because they knew if they peeked Sad, they'll die. They had to have Sad peek them, because that's when they was going to have the most success, which Mastermind did at the end.
Right.
And that was when it was just a 1 versus 4.
But my point was more about, you know, get those frags. Get those frags. That was more of my point, you know, trying to stay alive, trying to, you know, you obviously you need the rounds. Obviously, for sure. Especially on the defensive side. That's my point. That was my whole point. Of course, I didn't mean, you know, that they weren't around. It's just they just they weren't able to stay alive. And, you know, obviously Entropy, to your point, they play that perfectly. Nothing else to be said. We're not going to argue with that. Absolutely.
Now we focused so much in that conversation that we weren't focusing on this round, where it's just fine on 1 versus 4, which Sad will finish things off. But Remy's and Wayful's guys finally some life into OUTCAST in this second half, and they're able to get the first round. Now it's 11-3, but the comeback is going to be so hard for these guys. You have to see Entropy pushing across the finish line eventually, but it does seem like they're going for a slight eco Entropy. Interesting to see what they do here.
I mean, if anything, they have enough room to eco. I mean, clearly, they have it's a long deficit here, and pretty much what I said before. You know, you got to use those defense round to your advantage, trying to get a few rounds from Entropy. And as you can see, you know, they're Sad again with that trench gun. I believe it was a very good shot, and it clearly shows. I mean, that's what you need to do. Obviously, you're on the defensive side. Take advantage of it. Right now, it's a 3-on-2. So very sneaky here. Misses a couple of shots here. Obviously, couldn't finish him off.
Joshua was able to take down Caesar, making it 2 versus 2. Now things are starting to be a little bit equal. Now Entropy's in this eco round. I have to remind people, they're making it 2 versus 2. That just shows how much skill and experience these guys have. It does seem like they want to go towards the B-bomb side. Joshua does have the bomb, and there's no one on the side to stop it except for one person. That's going to be Sad. He does have a Fedorov as well to back up his shotgun.
They're actually taking their time with it. It's barely almost 20 seconds on the clock. Still trying to take their time. Meanwhile, there is somebody on site. Joshua actually coming in huge with that frag, Kai. He's gonna plant the bomb there though. Meanwhile, it's a 1v2. Bomb is already planted here. Can you get a frag? So right now it's a 1v1. Ooh, but unfortunately from the back. And we are in match point for Entropy, Kai, and but again, a little tough to watch. But 3 rounds, it's all they could ever take away from Entropy. Hopefully, prove me wrong at this point, but it is match point for Entropy, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna do this within a matter of seconds, really quick. I feel like it's gonna be a quick round
I
here
think it's
for.
going to be a quick round. I still think it's going to be a slow round because both teams want to be apprehensive. You're going to see Outcast who wants to try and actually win this, but Fi opening things up very quickly. Maybe I'm wrong. It does take out the best player on Outcast. Wonder Child still not having a great things, gets fallen, but now 2 quick guns back by Wakeful Sky and Caesar, making it a 3 versus 3. As Bomb has now stopped towards mid, but Fi with that scope still proving to be difficult, but a quick comeback from Wakeful Sky. So the trades are coming in. But now the A site is clear, and it does seem like Entropy know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, take a look at Jay himself already on site, and at any moment the bomb. Oh, there you go. The bomb is going to be planted about 2 seconds. So not a quick round, but definitely interesting play coming up as they need to retake the bomb site here to try and keep whatever dream alive for Outcast as they are slowly approaching with that card 98 and also with STG 44 here. So some action is happening right now.
Yeah, the A site is one of the hardest sites to retake because there's only 2 entrances and so many places that the players can be on the site. You can see Remy's trying to go for the wall bang and he actually helps and he gets that frag. Just leaving Kierstar alone from Wakeful Sky.
Holy
Talk about how hard it is to retake, and they managed to do it.
Let's end the match with a jump shot with a Jesus Christ. That was definitely a good round, but again, it all came down to Entropy just being the experienced players, but credits to Sad for doing everything humanly possible to try and keep a dream alive, but unfortunately. What do you mean?
We still got the game.
No.
You're acting like the game's over.
You know, you saw the screenshot that I took on my phone right now? My game is still blurry. I can't see anything at the moment. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. I can't see anything. The only thing I can do is just restart really quick. So do apologize, folks. It's just literally my screen is glitchy right now. I can't see anything. Jesus.
Well, now it looks like they're about to win as Wakeful Sky's in a 1 versus 5 against Entropy. He's alone on the site. It should be a quick, easy round. And there we have it. Entropy does reign victorious as the last player does get taken out.